Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the Higher State Podcast. I am here with my good friend John.
What's up?
Thank you so much for joining us today. I wanted to talk with you today because you are probably one of the most super like-minded.
Okay.
Just because we dabble in everything. You obviously more successful
Sports
than
and
myself.
toys.
Give us a little bit about John Veneri.
Local boy, grew up in Kaimaki area, went to Mahalo Elementary, started to see intermediate, then Kamehameha High School, University of Hawaii, got recruited to play football there. But I really did have a good childhood. I had a really good childhood.
After high school, you go to UH. Did you go to junior college? Or?
No. Was there, but no stats. In 91, I was used mainly as a blocker. That was my redshirt freshman year.
Gotcha.
So college was 5 years for me, and 3 of them were on full scholarship. So yeah, I mean, I was asked to walk on. So back then, that was a big thing. Once I got recruited to come to University of Hawaii, I said, perfect. I want to stay home. I want to play in front of my family, and friends. And
well, first of all, you guys played Illinois in the Holiday Bowl, right? I remember the University of Hawaii when they went to the Sugar Bowl. It was between Georgia and Illinois. And I was like, come on, Illinois.
Yeah.
But then Georgia got the bid, and I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, they ended up opening up the can.
The can, yeah, exactly. No, but I thought it would have been such a great...
Which, by the way, just want to remind everybody.
About the can?
In 1992, we beat Illinois for the Holiday.
Yes, absolutely.
But in 2007, they lost to Georgia in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah. Just rubbing it in, right? How's about this? Is there anybody from the Illinois roster that you remember?
Not from the Illinois roster, but more from the teams that I played regularly. Teams around the WAC.
You mean like BYU?
BYU, I'm Ty Detmer.
Right.
Michael Matsuzaki, 89 guy from St. Louis.
Local boy, yeah.
Playing against Utah, I had the misfortune of having to try to block Luther Ellis, who went on to have an illustrious career in the NFL with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
And he's probably part of the reason why my shoulders don't work the way they're supposed to.
Well,
Trent Dilfer from Fresno State, Marshall Falk. I mean, the list goes on.
Let me ask you this: do you have any memories as far as like a favorite play from the Holiday Bowl?
Okay, so the Holiday Bowl, I was used mostly as a blocker in that game.
Sure.
But I also was it's become a trivia question, that we ran the final fumble rooski in college football history. I brought the play in, but Paul Johnson called it really late. So when I ran it into Michael Carter, we called it, got up to the line, scored the touchdown. Peter Pulley scored a touchdown. So we scored the touchdown, but it got called back because at that time you had to inform the referee of a special play. We didn't have time to do that. So whether it was Mike's fault, my fault, coach's fault, it was a touchdown, but it got called back.
How was it playing for somebody like that?
Coach Rags was awesome. If you look at the coaching staff, Bob Wagner, Rich Ellerson, Jeff Munkin, Kenny Niumatalolo, Paul Johnson. I mean, we're talking about head coaches on multiple different schools on multiple levels, and 2 of which continue to have major success. Just amazing coaching staff. Bob Wagner, an amazing coach. We've got a good relationship.
What was your favorite / best season?
Ooh, I would say probably my junior season.
That's the one you had 3 touchdowns.
I had, is that all? Like I said, I did a lot of blocking for guys like Eddie Kilova.
Yes, my track coach,
Brian Gordon. You know, I did a lot of blocking. My shoulders are paying for it now, but there was some prestige to be able to block for a guy like Eddie Kilova who scored the touchdown.
Right.
You know, and so my junior season, we had the most fun. We were expected to do big things that year. We were 6-6 if we didn't go back to the bowl. Wow. That's going 10-2 the previous year. Yeah. But I mean, I had a few touchdowns my senior year that were good, but we didn't have a very good season. I mean, we beat Oregon, we beat Cal on the road.
Wow, I did not realize
I had a couple of touchdowns against Utah, I had a couple against Kent, one against Kent State, I dropped another one. You know, and we just came back from Wyoming, a place that I had my only fumble. It's my only college football. I blamed it on Michael Carter.
Okay.
You know what I'll tell you though that I remember the most, and it isn't any particular play or touchdown. It was the excitement of running out of that tunnel to Hawaii Five-0, being played by the band right there. But to average 45,000 fans a game, that kind of excitement can't be duplicated anywhere else.
Right, yeah.
Those are the things that I remember the most. My dad being there, my family in the stands, him whistling to look at him to tell me, come on, and all
Yeah,
that
that's
kind of
awesome.
stuff.
So that's a great point. And I know that you were just up in Wyoming,
Yep.
and they have no fans right now. Or did they?
Wyoming actually allowed what they said to be 7,000 fans.
And you say that because
There seemed to be a lot more than
Okay, because I was going to ask, what is that experience like now that most of the stands are not full?
Well, so now we'll take it a week back at Fresno.
Sure.
A place that normally has rabid fans. No fans there.
Okay.
It's a bit strange. And what's even more strange is to hear fans in your headset because they're pumping crowd
the
noise
sound
into the stadium.
Yeah, and see nothing.
But to look out and see nobody.
So you went to KHON in 1995.
Yep.
And were an anchor until 2010. Well, during that time, you had Go Johnny Go.
Yeah, still do. It's
Right.
a little different now.
Gotcha.
It's still fun and lifestyle. So going from being a sportscaster and doing it to being a host of a lifestyle show is a little different. And so I am a little more selective as
Good.
challenges.
As far as what you take on.
Yeah.
How did Go Johnny Go start?
You know, Ron Mizutani, he's like, let's do something with, you being challenged. We did a couple together, and then he's like, it'd be great. But it was Ron Mizutani who came up with it. He's like, I think it'd be fun, and it ended up being a hit. I mean, I did everything from ballet with 6-year-old girls to losing to a 9-year-old boy who played ping pong. Kainoa McGee challenging me to come bodyboard with him, and it turned out to be one of the biggest days at Sandy Beach ever.
Why not?
I mean, so, it was a lot of fun.
You then move on to production and marketing
Yep.
from 2010 to 2017. So what did you do exactly in that?
I took over for 3 years as the marketing director, and then I took over, and then I moved over from marketing into the production manager. So I was in charge of commercial production and productions at local productions, which eventually led to me accidentally on purpose being the host of Sam Choi's The Kitchen with Sam Choi.
That's a horrible accident.
Right?
What made you transition from in front of the camera to behind the camera?
You know, I was a weekend sports anchor. Me and Kanoa Leahy had a really good relationship. We
Yeah.
worked well together. We were putting together some good stuff. The June Jones show. We had nightly. I just felt like I wanted to broaden myself, and I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to try my hand at something different. I was writing. I was shooting. I was editing. I wanted to write. I wanted to work with clients. I wanted to work on the sales side. And so in marketing and in production, that's what I did.
What is one of the most memorable things or times that you did in that role?
Again, there's no one moment. I think that having relationships that I've continued even till now, it's just great to be able to have worked on both levels with people and clients. I guess the most gratifying thing was I believed in what we were doing, and the message that comes across the television of KHON helps that company.
That's
And
the
so
fulfilling
I
side of
knew
it.
that it worked, and I knew that the cab was going to be the #1 cab company in the country. I knew that Corey's Roofing was going to be with KHON for a number of years, had and still is, and their message continues to work on KHON. So the advertising message and helping local businesses is probably the most gratifying.
All right, so when did Living 808 start?
Let's see, it's almost 6 years now. I originally tried out and asked to be on that show. They decided to go with Kaizo and Trini, but I still worked on that show, shooting a lot of their stories.
Right.
Yeah, so that's where it all.
Okay, so I guess that means that because I would have thought that was one of your type of concepts because you just fit so naturally into it. Where did that concept come from?
That concept came from Katie Pickman. She was our general sales manager at the time at KHON, and she's now the general sales manager. the general manager at Hawaii News Now.
You know, I told you that I was actually working at the Nanilo, and we were looking forward to broadcasting the Mary Monarch Fashion Show. This year with Hawaii News Now. So hopefully we can get back to something similar to that next year. But
it's not something you want to bring up with KHON. You bring up with a KHON guy.
Well, I'm putting it up here because hopefully it plants a seed with you, and you take it back to work with you, because we're not exclusive. We just want it in the air.
Okay, all right.
But okay, and just to let you know, my mom also wanted me to tell you that she enjoyed your segment with Mikey and the Goat Yoga.
Funny stuff.
She said you were laughing as
I
well.
was dying. Thanks, Mom, for watching.
Yeah. So Sam Choi's in the kitchen. How did that start?
That started with Sam, and he had a YouTube show, Sam Choi's in the Kitchen. But it was actually Sam's brainchild. And me being a part of it was literally an accident. The show can be found on KHON2 News' YouTube channel.
Really?
It's also on KHON2.com. We put all the past shows on there. We even put all the recipes from the shows so that the folks that want to make the recipes that we make can make it at home.
And what is it like working with a global icon? I mean,
Well, he is.
yeah.
He's
So
the
what's it like?
godfather of poke.
Right.
Taught me a lot about cooking. I thought I was a pretty good cook already, but working with him, he's opened my mind up to a lot of things. And our relationship now socially and professionally, I think our relationship is awesome. But personally, he is a fantastic man. Just a great human being. You can't say that about all celebrities. There are some where you idolize them and then they turn out to be jerks.
Sure.
Sam Choi is an unbelievable human being with a lot of heart. I haven't had anything that he's made that has not tasted good.
Amazing,
Everything
yeah.
he's made has tasted good.
Well, you get the lucky job of being the ESPN color analyst for the UH football games, right? 25 years now?
So in total, it's been 25 years,
Sure.
but for the last 11, when Robert Kikaula left the role that I'm in now to go to Spectrum and do it as a play-by-play guy for television,
Sure.
I moved into that role from the sideline. I moved into that role as the color analyst for ESPN Honolulu.
Nice.
And I've been there now for 11 years.
But which do you prefer?
I love being the color analyst. I love being able to see the field. I love being able to call the plays.
You don't like
And
being
I
on
like traveling.
the smell of the grass?
No, because,
It's overrated.
because the smell of the grass gets a little overpowered by the smell of dirty pants.
Yeah, oh, gotcha. So speaking of traveling, where is your favorite place to visit that you guys go with some regularity?
Ooh, so my fiance and I, we've now piggybacked some of my trips for football
Makes sense.
into vacation. To answer your question, going to Ohio State, doing
yeah.
a game there, doing a game at Wisconsin, doing a game at Michigan with a record 111,000 people there, it's a whole nother level.
I'm not sure. You've seen so many games, you've called so many games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess your favorite one. Give me your favorite one.
They're all fun. Even losses, they're all fun.
There's not one that stands out to you.
There's not one in particular. Not one in particular. Close games are great. Played a couple of overtime games that I got to call the last few years. All the fun games that people watch. Those are the ones that I'm calling. So those are fun for me.
Yep.
There's not any one game. Calling wins is so much fun because not only am I the broadcaster for Hawaii games, I'm an alum. I'm a fan. It's my only team. I don't cheer for any NFL team. It's UH all the way for me.
What also is awesome is, especially as a fan, just as much, you are now that voice that is attached to that experience.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
it's
so.
so cool.
My progressively next question would be, what's next for you? What else? What else do you have?
Honestly,
Marriage, obviously. So.
marriage has come and gone for us.
Yeah.
But it's in our near future.
Okay.
I'm super happy that I have a great relationship with the person that I love, and we have a nice little family. There's 7 of us, and we're all in the house. So I mean, we have a lot of fun all together. You know, her family's great. My family loves her. Her family seems to love me. I hope.
Yeah.
What's next? I'm having a lot of fun right now. I'm not going to look past this game,
Sure.
that I got going on.
Yeah. Live
right
in the
now.
moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just really quickly, some quick draw answers. First thing that comes to your mind. You ready?
Yeah.
Favorite food?
My family's homemade recipe for pasta and meatballs.
Favorite clothing brand?
Thank you.
Favorite Star Wars character?
Darth Vader.
Favorite NFL team?
Whoever a local boy is playing for. So I'm cheering for the Raiders, I'm cheering for the Dolphins, I'm cheering for
The Titans?
the Titans, yep.
Favorite KHON personality?
Mikey and Tanya.
Oh, nice. Last and final question. In this one, do you know who Tumor Tuane is?
Yeah. I
Okay,
do. And he's
so-
hilarious, by the way.
Oh, good. When I had the pleasure of having him on my podcast, he had a hidden talent. Do you have any hidden talents?
I mean, I sing, but that's not hidden. I think I sing every day on the show. You got a deck of cards? I mean, I could show you a card trick.
Like really good? Because Tumor had an amazing card trick.
I have to go back and look at that.
Oh, you do? I'll send you the link. But do you want me to share it? I think
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think I'm pretty much an open book for
You
everybody
are.
and everybody.
Yeah, because you actually all of your talents are on display every single day. That's why. So.
I mean, I hope so.
I
I don't do anything on the show that I don't do in real life.
It'd be an injustice for me not to ask. So, and having said that, we will then wrap it up. So, once again, I want to thank John Veneri for just spending time with us here. The KHON lifestyle extraordinaire, also the ESPN color analyst for University of Hawaii football. You guys can catch us on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. My show will be up on the Higher State Podcast on Instagram, and then I'll also put it on the Higher State Podcast on YouTube. So other than that, you guys, everybody take care. Thank you again, John.
Absolutely.
Aloha.
Take care.